Everyone, this is, well, I shouldn't be called EJ Lightning 77 now, since I changed the YouTube channel to Electric Jumper, or EJ for short, basically. So this is Electric Jumper here, or formerly EJ Lightning 77. I thought I'd give a little bit of some quick video of what's going on, and even share a little bit of a progress of a custom figurines that I've been starting to do. So basically, if you are following me on my DVR channel, I am working on a custom My Little Pony figurine line, basically based off on the Generation 5 toy line. So I've basically finished off Twilight Sparkle and Applejack themselves. Well, basically Applejack is not complete yet, as I need to make her hats, which I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna pull that off. I've already seen a couple like references to some figurines of her, so I'm gonna see if I can try working on that. So right now I'm in the process of working on Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy. So I have to give another different coats of Rainbow Dash some paint, like basically giving her a little bit of some extra coats of paints, and then give it the sealant process. And as you can see, I added a little bit of sanding down. Sorry about the camera and the lighting, so gotta give her a little bit some extra coat. So it's been a while since I did a video like this. The last videos I've actually uploaded are just basically parodies of Team Fortress 2 dubbing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or basically Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but it's Team Fortress 2 dubs. Which basically the first one was actually pretty successful, getting close to basically being 1,200 views. And the second one, I mean, it's still doing alright at some degree. Well, I wouldn't say degree, basically, just it was just doing okay. But I would say it's not as successful than the first one, basically. However, sadly, those videos are basically gotten copyrighted. I'm trying my best to basically get into like a fair use law, just saying that this is under fair use, and I'm not trying to make like money off of it or anything. So it didn't get to the fair use treatment and all. So I'm just gonna basically see if I can try again and all. But I don't think it's gonna be as successful than I thought. But yeah. So yeah, I had a little bit of a long night. By the time I upload this video, so basically I was just out with my dad and my roommate. But yeah, there's some things that's been going on. So basically, I actually moved from the downstairs suite area to the upstairs area now that my aunt and uncle have basically moved out. That was originally the like, I can't remember what how this all went, basically, like but yeah, basically I originally lived down here, which was the original living quarters for me. But then by the time I actually gotten some full access to the upstairs suite, ever since my my grandmother, or my Nana, passed away, it was kind of a little bit of a stressful event for me and my dad, basically. Sorry how I'm basically talking right now. Like I said before, like me and my dad and my roommate, we had like a dinner, just a couple of like hours ago, and basically like I pretty much stuffed. I'm tired, and it's gonna be hard to basically concentrate on what I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be hard to also try to explain a few details, but I'm basically trying my best to basically explain a few things. So either way, I'm living on the upstairs area, which is actually a lot more space, which has a lot more space than ever, and I think it's a much more better living experience than being downstairs and all. What else can I recall? It's hard to remember what's going on. It's been a while since I did a YouTube video, okay? Seeing my face and all, because I'm not really used to this. But anyway. So, just sanding down the tail who will be Fluttershy. I tried my best to basically replicate Fluttershy's tail likeness, and seeing how this will work out, and then just give it a little bit of a smooth, and then gonna drill like the hole for where her peg is gonna be. So this is my Fluttershy. I removed the original peg piece on the G5 figures, so this is how it's gonna probably look later on. It's hard to describe a few things. Like I said, like I'm a little tired out from eating out and all. Okay, so it seems like the clay hasn't dried properly. Now, so when I began doing this process of my custom figures, like I thought of like the idea of how will Hasbro ever actually make like the My Little Pony figures actually based off on basically how will Hasbro ever come back to the Generation 5, not Generation 5, but basically come back to the Generation 4 merchandise with this kind of style of the figure. So like basically it all began like I see like a couple of like Izzy Moonbows being sold at Diorama. They were like $5. Then there were Sunny Star Scouts, and then Pip Petals. So basically the only things I'm only going for is like Izzy Moonbow for her unicorn horn, Sunny Star Scout, generally for Earth Pony appearance. But then when it comes to like characters with wings like Zipstorm or Sunny Star Scout as an alicorn, I'm going to go for those. Pit Petal wings, like they're just basically like the fluffy wings. Like they're kind of like the stubby, I wouldn't say stubby, like they're basically like the short kind of wings. These could basically be useful for like ponies with, like basically like ponies that have small wings or whatever, basically. Sorry about the long pause there. So anyway, so basically with Rainbow Dash's wings, like these ones, these are already painted. Like these are probably the more proper wings that I have to go for. Now Walmart actually sells Zip Storm figures. Well, they used to until they all been sold out. Unless I plan on getting, unless there's actually more coming out at some point or so. So either way, I'm gonna. Then there could also be like Valley Village that could actually sell Zip Storms figures, or Sunny Star Scout as an alicorn. Now, when I was trying to get, when I got like a couple like Sunny Star Scout figures, I thought like Sunny's horn, her alicorn horn, is actually like a real thing. But when I was doing my custom Twilight Sparkle, it turned out that the horn is actually a mold, like it was fake. So I wonder if I still have it somewhere around here. You can't really see the mess and all, but I have a little bit of a mess going on in my station. So either way, I'm working on Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy for the time being. I already finished up Twilight and Applejack, as I already said earlier. But even though Applejack is not really complete yet, as she needs her hat, I almost want to say a fedora. It's actually, it had a different name. I can't remember what it was. Don't mind the noise. That's the heater. Yeah. That's basically the heater. But anyway, so I need to figure out how I'm going to make Applejack's hat. And then I also made like a big list of like any other characters I'm going to make after the main 6. So after Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie and Rarity will basically be the last ones. Now, the original plan was having Twilight Sparkle last because she's an alicorn. And I thought about doing like alicorns last. But when I began Twilight Sparkle and Applejack, they were actually pretty easy, mainly just because of Twilight's mane and being more like a straight haircut kind of way. Well, Applejack is just basically simple, as she's an Earth Pony. Like, actually, the original plan was I wanted to start off with Applejack and Pinkie Pie. I want to start off with Applejack and Pinkie Pie because they're both Earth Ponies, then Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy, then Rarity and Twilight Sparkle last. But by the time I began working on Applejack, well, no, I actually started off with Twilight Sparkle, then Applejack. Twilight was actually a lot easier than I actually expected. So, there's that. Now, I may have established earlier that I had plans about making like other custom My Little Pony figures. Mainly like characters from like the Generation 4 series, the Generation 5 series, and then friends of mine, or even just ponyfied characters from different series. So basically, I thought about like making like characters in the Generation 5 series that never gotten any figures, or even just getting characters that actually had figures but needed a little bit of some upgrades. Like, for example, there was a Queen Haven figure that was a part of the My Little Pony Pegasus pack. So basically it had like Sunny, Izzy, Zip, and Pip, and then we got like a couple of like random Pegasus characters. Queen Haven was actually one of them. And so I thought about, why not make a Queen? And when I saw the Queen Haven figure, she actually uses a pre-existing pit pedal mold, which is, I thought it was kind of weird. So I thought if I actually got my hands on Queen Haven, I might make her a little bit more faithful and more screen accurate to her show and movie counterpart. So that's what I thought about doing. But I want to save money for that for the time being. But another custom figure on making an alternative would also be Misty Bright Dawn. When she had her original mane colors instead of just her gradient mane in Chapter 5. So I thought about making Misty's original mane colors, but do I also want to have Misty blank flank or have her cutie mark? Because Misty didn't get her cutie mark in Chapter 4 when she still had her original mane. So that's still debatable. So it's still debatable if I wanted to try something like that, but you can share your thoughts in your comments. So when it comes to also Generation 4 characters, there's a lot of well-named My Little Pony G4 characters. But then there's also like characters that never. But then there's also characters that are either like young or non-pony characters. Now, and then there's also like characters that are either like baby, like colts. Well, not just colts, like when they were basically like baby fillies or baby colts. Well, mainly just fillies. Is like the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders. Like, there's not like 3-inch scale figures of those. So I can make them as adults, but I want to save them for like when they're actually as fillies. If Hasbro will ever plan on making filly versions figurines, which there's a lot going on about Hasbro and Generation 5 basically that's been going on. And even though I don't like to go into like details about this, but like you can find sources about this. And for my thoughts about Generation 5, like, I'm okay with it. Like, I like it. But I'm not going to say like it's as perfect or superior than the G4 series. Like, the G4 series has always been like the more superior My Little Pony series of all time. Like, it started a fan basis. It has pretty much so much content creators, and it had so much of an impact to everybody. So there's that. Now for G5, it actually has some of its good moments. Now, it had some good moments about G5, but I'm not going to say... Now, it had some good things about G5. Now, G5... No. Basically, what I'm saying is... There are some good things about G5, but I'm not... but even though it does have its problems at times. Like I said before, I'm not going to go into like much details about this. I did share a few things on DeviantArts, but I'm not going to go into more details about that. And that's all I could share. What else is there to talk about? Like, will I ever plan about also like coming back to YouTube? Maybe sometimes when I feel like it. But I'm not going to just go back on there all the time, mainly because like there are some problems about YouTube itself, which I also don't like to go talk about it. And when it came to my Team Fortress 2 parodies, like I said before, they did got copyrighted because of me using a well-known source material that's been around since the 60s. So, well, I may try again about trying to make it fair use and be more viewable, across the world or something. If not, then I tried my best. Unless if there was actually a second try about that. Who knows? Now, I may plan on coming back to, I did try my best to think about, like, making, like, YouTube videos about, me coming back. Because I was going to plan about making, like, a video, like, a quick review video on a, since I was doing something customizing with Hasbro related, I thought I'd bring up that Hasbro actually made the M41A pulse rifle a couple of years back. Because if you guys remember back on my YouTube channel, I actually made my own custom M41A pulse rifle Nerf gun, which unfortunately, looking back at it, it's a little bit dated. I may have also, like, it had a bit of some broken parts to it, etc., etc. But then when Hasbro made an official one, I got my hands on basically two of them, one to customize and the other to basically keep just the way it is. But if I ever plan on getting a third one, I might make it as my own original version of the pulse rifle, where I can actually put stickers on it. Where I have like stickers on it or decorations, so on or so forth. Now, anyway. Okay, clay will probably dry off at some point, so either way, I'm trying to think of like what else is there going on in my mind, basically. I may plan about also like doing like a little bit of a review about my custom My Little Pony figures and my process, and so like and then I also did share about like characters I wanted to make into other characters I want to make into figurines. So not just like Twilight Spark, not just so yeah, not only like just the G4 or G5 characters, but also my online friends, as well as like characters that have been ponyfied or characters from like other series. But I'm not gonna really do as far as making like I can either make them my choice or by my decisions, or like if they ever interest me or whatever. But will they ever be sold? Like, would I ever plan about selling these things? It's an unknown, really. But if I ever plan about getting a little bit better on customizing my pony figures, then yeah, I mean, I could try selling something like this. Like, ship them out to someone who is actually genuine to be interested in buying some of my items. Like, I would probably sell them for like either $50, $60, per pony, or so on. Then there's also like the idea about trying to make like custom characters. Then there's also like the debate of like how I'm also gonna pull this off. Yeah, so basically, the first figure I ever done was actually my very own Misty Bright Dawn figure. Now, before Hasbro actually made an actual Misty Bright Dawn figure, I actually made my own Misty, using both Sunny Star Scout and Pit Petals for like Pit Petals' head, for the eye color and the head shape, and then the body part for Sunny, both painted blue, and I also gave her a new mane style and tail style. But now, even though as much as I actually did my best to make it look accurate and faithful to the original character, there are a few things that does look a little off. But the only thing that I actually got better than Hasbro's is actually doing a little bit of like the coat markings and even Misty's like transition pink and blue horn. And also Misty, and also I decided to go with Misty when she was like a plank flank. She had like a false key mark that was seen in a couple of episodes. And that's basically all I could, say it. Like, that's how I made my own Misty Bright Dawn figure. Then I also made myself. Originally, I wanted to go for my trademark jacket that you guys see me in, all my MLP. And oh yeah, and by the way, you may have also noticed that for those who are around my YouTube channel, like I went from my original tan standard pony style to a more foxy appearance, because I wanted to make my OC character be a little bit more fox than just my standard pony side. And I think it's a much more better version of my OC character than my other version. But however, trying to work on the fabric was a little bit difficult and hard, so I decided to just bail on the idea and just went with just no jacket version. Now, I may plan about making a jacket version of my OC character at some point, but I don't know when or yet. But it'll be some time in the future. And either Then, like I said before, like there's also like characters that haven't been made into figurines. Like I thought of like a good idea. Now then but even though there's also characters that actually had been made into figures, but they're actually either like 4-inch scale, 5-inch scale, 6-inch scale. I'm a little confused on like here's on like the how this figurine scale works and all. But the 3-inch scales are basically the ones I'm trying to go for. Now, basically, I am trying to figure out like who I'm going to be making that hasn't been made, or just need to do some upgrades on. So, and like I said before about like the G4, like there's a lot of like G4 characters that will definitely be made, but I'm going to go by either choice or by interest or by popularity by fans, and basically if they actually interest me, basically. And of course I can also try doing non-pony characters like zebras, like Zakora or Curran, like Autumn Blaze, and the list will probably go on. But I'm not going to probably make like characters like non-pony creatures like griffins or changelings, as I think that's probably a new kind of level, unless I could do like some sort of like hybrid or something like that. And then when it comes to like alicorn characters like Celestia and Luna, because they're basically more taller than like the standard pony size, that will be a little bit of a challenge to do so, unless I can also just go with just the standard pony size characters instead. Or I can see if I can try cutting off some of the legs, expanding them a little bit to make them look a little more taller. There's that. And then we got basically the G5 characters that haven't been made, because I have a lot in mind on who I want to make and how I might want to do it. And then when it comes to also like G5 characters, like mainly like the main 5, and that's another thing I was also going to be thinking about. Let's like all the different variants on like the G5 characters and even G4 characters. Like there's like a lot of mine, like Twilight Sparkle as an Earth Pony, not Earth Pony. I mean, that was actually one of the concept for Generation 5 was like, it was basically meant to be like a reboot of the G4 series, but it was decided to be more of a continuation story that takes place after G5. But anyway, I'm talking about like Unicorn Twilight Sparkle that we been a little bit used to originally before she became an alicorn. I think that sounded about right. But basically like Twilight Sparkle when she was a unicorn back in Season 1 up to Season 3. Then there's Pinky Jamaica Pie, that's basically the depressed version of Pinky, which has been done a lot in like fan fiction, creepypasta, like cupcakes. Then there's Flutterbat, the the bat depiction of Fluttershy. Then Rarity as Rare Punk. That's when she lost most of her hair, but then she decided to use decided to transition to a more of a punk style version of herself. And then there's also, oh shit, sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. I mean, there's a lot of different versions of Twilight Sparkle. Oh, like, not just Twilight Sparkle. There's a lot of different versions of, like, some of the main 6. Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Rainbow Dash as a Wonderbolt, where she's actually dressed up in her Wonderbolt outfit. And that was also another thing that's also in my mind. Is basically, like, how I'm going to also do, like, the characters in, like, costumes. Not only I'm going to do, like, my OC character in my jacket, but also, like, characters in, like, their outfits. So, if I do Daring Do, I'm going to probably paint her uniform on her torso, while I have her hat actually be like removable, like Applejack's, which I'm gonna also have to plan about working on that at some point. Yes. Then if I ever plan about doing like cloths for Daring Do, I can actually make her into AK Yearling in her author persona. And again, like there's a lot in mind that I'm gonna have to start thinking about how I'm gonna pull off these characters and so forth. But yeah, those are the only things I can basically come up with. Now, as I will continue proceeding to do more custom pony figures, I'm gonna probably close off this video. My phone, not my phone, I'm not using my phone, I'm using my camera. My camera is only like on 32%, so you know, so I'm going to turn that off, continue on the process of this, and yeah, either way, by the time you're watching this, yes, this was filmed basically yesterday, last night. I just wanted to give you guys like a little bit of a heads up on what's going on. Basically, like, I'm not going to do too much YouTube, only when I feel like it. But I will probably do a My Little Pony review of my custom G5 style figures of the OG main 6 from the G4 series. And yeah, that's all I got. Feel free to leave some likes and subscribe to my channel, and check me out on the social medias down below. And it's kind of good to be back on YouTube a little bit. I basically only like to use YouTube just to watch videos instead of just uploading. But it's still okay to be uploading from time to time. But either way, that's all I got. And see you next time. And stay groovy.